more mistakes. They won't play as cleanly as they did. But SilentStorm, it's like he's salsa dancing when he's playing. He's just picking his cards, picking his deck. Always Paladin first, Shaman second. He's not playing Shaman in this tournament, but that's how it felt like, at least last season when I was watching him play.
Right in rhythm with the Hearthstone salsa dance.
Yeah, I salsa danced with him when he was at the Legendary Land Finals.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
I don't know.
I was there. How did I not see that?
It was behind closed doors.
That's probably for the best. Now, in this game, Shielded Minibot or just Acolyte? Acolyte's probably best here because you know he's going to get card draw. At least you get a little card draw with it.
Acolyte is like the layman's Northshire Cleric.
Right.
The lesser classes Northshire Cleric. But he's going to actually have 2 Northshire Clerics, so this is going to be the war of draws here. And Priest can do pretty well against Paladin, especially when they draw a lot early on, because it makes those combos that they need really consistent.
Right.
Because they have a full hand. I mean, of course he's going to have Shadow Madness or Arcanized Circle. And Paladin is one of the classes that suffers the most from those things, because they're really weak to Shadow Madness. They're really weak to cards like Holy Nova or Arcanized Soul Priest Circle of Healing.
Right.
So we're just going to draw.
Yeah, might as well. Given a ton of ammunition for those Northshire Clerics, though, with this play, but I guess it's really the only option he had.
Yeah, you do have to be a little bit careful, though, when you have 2 Northshire Clerics on the board. Because that makes it so that if you can't kill them off onto anything, your opponent can make it so that you can't really heal up anything without overdrawing.
Right.
See, right now, he's going to have, what, 9 cards in his hand, which he has to be a little bit careful of.
Yeah, he's getting to that point where at this time you want to kill at least one of these clerics.
Yeah.
You want to get some sort of a trade where she dies as well. All right, so it looks like a definite piloted Shredder turn here.
Yeah. Consecrate. You sort of want to force him to trade in his Northshire Clerics. And Paladin Shredder is sort of the bane of priests. It's so hard for them to deal with because on turn 4, a lot of the times they don't really have a board. And the 4 attack is just that sweet spot.
But the Sludge Belcher coming down, as Raynad calls it, the natural predator of the piloted Shredder.
Yeah. Most of the time, just the first iteration of the Sludge Belcher can take out both of the Paladin Shredder. And I mean, 5-drop versus 4-drop. That should happen.
Right, I was going to say,
like if the Paladin
things
Shredder,
are right in the world when a 5-drop can completely trade healthy
if a Paladin
with a
Shredder could
4-drop.
trade 2 for 1 with a Sludge Belcher and something else, something's probably wrong. But all is right in the world.
All right, so he gets the True Silver off the top, off the Acolyte.
Yep.
So that's going to allow him a little bit of a cleaner kill here.
Oh, both Light of the Narus. I've seen some crazy plays with double Light of the Naru in the late game. If you can like double Light of the Naru with a Wild Pyromancer on the board, and then like Circle of Healing, you can get 1-turn kills with Priest.
Now, he does have Harrison in hand, but he's fighting the temptation to do that because Harrison will be killed so easily by the Shredder. Yeah. And the Shredder will live to fight another day, too, as some other form of himself.
Yeah. He's trying to think if he's going to overdraw or not. Because if he heals up this, he's going to draw a card. Then he'll draw another card if he actually heals up the Injured Blade Master to full.
I think he just self-heals here.
Yeah, he has to, or else he'll discard a card next turn. So that's not the kind of situation that you want to be in, because when you summon that Light Warden, you kind of want to buff it immediately.
Right.
So that's that thing early on where you, as a priest, you play double Northshire early in the game. You get a lot of draws. You're feeling good, feeling happy, and then all of a sudden you get to that point in the mid game where your hand is just so full that you can't do the optimal plays because you're going to overdraw.
Right.
And he was thinking about whether or not he could afford to lose that card just to have a stronger board, but he can't.
All right, so now back into SilentStorm's court goes the ball. Consecration feels pretty epic here with that weapon equipped as well.
Yeah.
And this Shredder just continues to be a thorn in Kolento's side.
Yeah, SilentStorm continues his dance. He just threw out the metaphorical jazz hands.
Yep.
With the consecration.
And also, interesting note maybe is to choose to hero power and start building up those silver hand recruits,
Yeah.
since he does have Quartermaster already in hand.
Yeah, and also he doesn't want to. You don't want to play Knife Juggler because it plays into Shadow Madness. You don't want to play Shielded Minibot because it plays into Cabal Shadow Priest. So there's a lot of things that you would just automatically play against other classes to make a stronger board that you can't really afford to do against a Priest. You got to sort of play the long con against Priest, and
oh yeah,
that's
go
actually,
ahead, have a parrot,
sure,
no problem.
Yeah. I'm hoping for something weak in that situation.
Yeah.
Just about the only thing you're giving him is Beast Synergy. And he even has an opportunity to snipe it here. And he's going to play creatures here. He's not really too worried about Cabal Shadow Priest anymore, just because it's not going to completely ruin his board.
Yeah, because even a Shadow Madness, he will eventually get the mini-bot back here.
Yeah.
So that doesn't feel as bad as Shadow Madness can feel at times.
Yeah. So Cabal Shadow Priest, Shielded Minibot is one of the best cards in the game that you can steal with Cabal Shadow Priest outside of any Shrinkmeister shenanigans.
So what options does Kolento have at this point?
He can Wild Pyro and
say,
Shadow Madness, but I like the Cabal better.
Cabal's probably the strongest play. I was looking at the Pyromancer a little bit too, but didn't feel like it was actually going to wind up being as clean as you would hope.
Yeah.
The old Knife Juggler Mustard.
The old 1-2. And he has Knife Juggler Mustard plus 2 arms.
2 arms, men.
2 arms, buddy.
2 arms, bros. That is a bunch of big dudes now.
Quartermaster's ripped.
He really is, isn't he? These are the kinds of things you think about when you're playing Hearthstone.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, that's going to be rough, but then Pyromancer Holy Nova seems probably pretty clear here.
Yeah, or even Auchenai Circle.
Auchenai Circle.
Ping off, yeah.
I always kind of like to hang on to my Auchenai Circle.
Yeah.
While when I've got it, if I have some sort of an option other than that, that still feels pretty good.
Or we could double Shadow Madness.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have he doesn't have a way to clear up that Quartermaster with anything else other than the Auchenai
Other
Circle.
than the Auchenai Circle, yeah.
Yeah. And he can even Thought Steal with the extra mana that he's going to have from the ping. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter what order he does it in, but usually you want to draw first just in case there's something that changes your play, but I don't think there was going to be anything in that situation.
Yeah, and that Auchenai coming right in time off the top as well helps him punish that big Quartermaster play. So now he's able to easily clean up the Auchenai, but it got its value. And then here comes Tyrion.
Oh, no. You're always afraid to play Tyrion in this matchup because there's so many things that a priest can do that'll just take it.
Especially notice it's turn 10 now.
Yeah. He could mind control. He just Thought Stole, so there's a chance he could have the Aldor Peacekeeper. Aldor Peacekeeper, Cabal Shadow Priest. There's a lot of things, but he doesn't have any of those.
Right.
So he's going to be pretty happy. Sylvanas is also another way that they can deal with Tyrion because you can't really kill off your own Tyrion without killing off the Sylvanas first most of the time. It's just too healthy. Oh, but actually this is pretty big. He can.
So if he allows him to steal,
he can ruin. Well,
he can then destroy the weapon as well.
Yeah, that's going
to be hard to pull off. I mean, you use the weapon, you take 6 to the face, putting you down at 14 health.
That's a priest.
I mean, that's
not going to burst you.
That still seems like a far too fancy play to be good.
Yeah. The smarter play here is just to lay on hands, get a full hand, and then kill the Knife Juggler, force a trade. That other play is a little bit too risky. Not risky, but it's just a little bit unnecessary. I think that's just the word. It's flashy.
Yes, that it is. All right, so now it looks like Kolento has also got his own Harrison in order to deal with Ashbringer once it hits the board.
Yeah. But I don't know if he wants to use it because he's going to have to throw some cards on the board. Because he's going to draw 3, so he has 9 cards in his hand right now. He'll overdraw. So he's got to play a card first. Got to play 2 cards actually, so he doesn't overdraw on the following turn. So he's got to like Shrinkmeister.
Yeah, so
He can keep a Sylvanas alive. If he he can. If he Shrinkmeisters the Tyrion.
Shrinkmeister's Tyrion. Yeah.
Doesn't really do anything because he'll just trade the Silverhand Recruit in the following turn.
Well, he'll steal the Silverhand. Oh no, because Sylvanas would have been alive.
Yeah.
So he's gonna go ahead and just lie to the Naru here and Harrison, and he will just be under overdrawing himself.
Yep. Well played. He's actually got to play a card here.
Yeah, he does have to play a card, and you don't want it to be Power Word Shield either. I guess you just throw down, well, you still have the mana left over. Yeah, I was going to say, throw down the Pyro.
All right, he got it off.
Just in time.
Both players have like full hands.
Yeah. So Consecration here will only kill a Recruit in the Pyro. You got to go with the True Silver Champion, I suppose. And then you have just a 1/2.
It's hard to say what you kill in this situation because with the Pyromancer on the board, it's actually really easy to make a really big Light Warden.
An insane Light Warden, yeah.
So I would be inclined to actually kill the Light Warden in this situation. Yeah, because even just attacking, you're putting up to 3 attack.
Right.
Because you're healing yourself. So he actually ended up taking a damage from that because Light Warden, of course, is from all sources of heals. So just 1 extra heal the following turn would have put it at the exact same strength as the Harrison. There's no reason to kill the Harrison in that situation.
Yep. So now Sylvanas going to be a thorn in Kolento's side here. He doesn't necessarily want to give a Pyromancer to a Paladin, especially considering he still hasn't seen Equality.
Yeah. This is a very like mid-game focused Priest here. It's really interesting to see. He doesn't have a lot of big threats, but he's really going for like mid-game board control because he has double Shadow Madness, double Shrinkmeister. We haven't really, like I said, we haven't really seen those big threats besides Sylvanas. A really interesting Priest deck. I sort of like it, but it seems inconsistent against faster decks, and it seems like it won't win that control war against slower decks like Warrior.
All right, so Thorsan coming off the top of the deck. He's got a ton of cards in hand that you get a lot of value out of Thorsan, but with the board presence that Kolento's got, I don't know if that's a very safe play. You're already down to 18 health.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to clear the board too much because he wants to make sure that his Sylvanas gets something. So like if he consecrates here and tries to clear the board as much as possible, it'll make an easy trade for Harrison to just go in. This play is, he's still going to almost guarantee something while still holding on to his bigger AoE spells. Not that AoE is going to matter that much, but I'm sure he realizes now that this is that more minion-focused, minion-centric Priest deck.
Definitely taking his time thinking about how he wants to handle this turn. And it's definitely a trickier turn than it probably might have seemed on the surface. And I like the decision.
Sylvanas turns are always tough.
Yeah.
He actually floated 5 mana as well, so he really wants to get the most value out of his cards and preserve his Sylvanas' ability to steal something. And also, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a potential play here that would get pretty nasty with the Shrinkmeister and the Shadow Madness onto Sylvanas.
Yeah.
Then you wind up stealing a 1/1 of your own.
Yeah.
But it does deal with your opponent's board.
That might be the best play.
It plays right into Consecration, though.
Yeah. But I think it's the most efficient way to deal with the board. You're not going to, I don't know, those Shrinkmeisters are...
I mean, that's kind of what they're there for, is to make these combos possible, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go for it. Oh, he won't actually get a steal, but he will just get the full board clear. Forgot that interaction there, of course, with the Pyromancer.
Yeah. I was actually trying to think he was near a lethal opportunity there. But yeah, that plays pretty efficient, and he's being conservative with his cards as well. But like you said, plays pretty well into consecration.
Yeah,
Against
and you have
Priest-
the consecration here too as well.
Yeah, 12 health, and priests don't have much burst, but against you're not gonna really find much more value with consecration either.
Mm-hmm.
But Paladin still has a lot of hefty threats,
Yeah.
and both these players, this game could end up going to fatigue. Because they don't have much burst. That last bit of health is gonna take a long time to get through, and they're starting to run out of cards here. They both had so much draw. I mean, we've seen Harrison Jones, we've seen Lay on Hands, we saw the draw battle earlier on with the Acolyte of Pain, the Northshire Clerics. These guys have been through a lot of their decks. I wonder if we can see how many cards they have left from our wonderful spectators.
Our wonderful, glorious spectators, who we're very grateful for and we love deeply.
Yeah. There we go.
Hey, 7 cards.
They're alive. All right, well, they only gave us one.
And for the priest?
I guess our compliments were enough.
4. Yeah, they are
4
getting
cards
really
left.
close to fatigue.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, I like the recombobulator play
5-drop
here.
too.
Yeah.
What?
Whoa! The Grim Patron.
He could Wild Pyromancer and make some
Wow, this
Lots
could
of
be a
Grim
really
Patrons.
scary board. He's already seen
Shadow Word Death, Power Word
Power
Shield.
Shield.
Oh no!
Oh.
I can't even hold all these Grim Patrons.
If he had a Circle of Healing.
So that recombobulator basically gave him 9-9. Oh no, 12 worth of stats.
Yeah.
I guess you can't really say that because the health.
Because the
difference.
health has gone down a
But
bit.
still, he turned that Harrison Jones into
Oh my
4 Grim Patrons.
goodness.
And he just uses Consecrate. I bet she wishes he hadn't.
Yeah, and now SilentStorm
He's
is in
looking
a
at-
really tough position.
He's like, what just happened?
What a play.
He's going to need a therapist after that one.
Kolento definitely pleased, I think, with the result that he just saw there. That was a yeah, I don't even know if you can fully describe and do justice to the swing that just took place in this game with
No.
that RNG roll.
It seemed like Kolento had a little bit of a hold on the match, but, I mean, that's rough. He's just going to be able to trade whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Just Circle of Healing, spawn some more.
I was just going to say,
Trade.
that's what I was thinking on the last turn. Could you imagine if you had a circle?
Yeah, trade one, Holy Nova, trade another, Circle of Healing. I think this is lethal.
Yeah, you Shadow Madness here, and
Yeah.
there it is. That's the game.
Yeah.
All right.
He could have made some fancy plays there at the end with Grim Patron, but that's really cool to see. It felt like Kolento had a big control over the match overall, but just a nail in the coffin at the end.
Yeah, I don't want another demon just taunting you on your
Yeah.
way down.
Yeah. That's really cool interaction though. Yeah, I'm excited to see if we get to see the Warlock today from SilentStorm, if we're going to see some Bane of Doom shenanigans.
Yeah, although I believe if Kolento has any say in it, he's going to try to ensure that we don't see that Warlock, because he's like, I'm just going to 3-0 you right now. You keep throwing that Paladin at me, no problem.
Yeah. All right, so this is a really great start for SilentStorm. He's got Knife Juggler, Double Shielded Mini Bot, and this Knife Juggler is basically saying, if you don't have Wrath, you're screwed.
Yeah, then you have to use your Shade to trade
Yeah,
into my
exactly.
Juggler, and you don't want to do that.
Yeah, because you don't really want to leave that Knife Juggler up. I mean, you can save it up for next turn. But there's a chance that he's just going to juggle it right now and trade next turn, and you just basically lost damage on your face for nothing.
Right.
So he can think about it all he wants here, but, I mean, actually, probably, it was a really tough decision.
Yeah, I think
I would wait a turn.
Yeah?
The 3 damage to the face isn't that big. He can only play at most 1 creature next turn, and you just want to avoid the muster combo.
That's exactly what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah. But I think he... Oh, okay. This is interesting because next turn he has another Shade, so
Right.
I would think he's played that. But this turn, this basically means that he wants to hero powered again next turn.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be it, but that feels pretty rough as well.
And he is going to go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
So he does have some stabilization cards. Druid of the Claw is fantastic because usually it'll trade 2 for 1 against Paladin. Dr. Boom as well is a great stabilization card. As long as you're not too far behind, you can play it and guarantee that your board's going to be in a better state the following turn than it was.
Yeah, I still don't know how much I like the play to use your own face. That, for 2 mana and your coin, that Knife Juggler wound up doing 8 damage?
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yep.
I wonder.
And he didn't get that shade rolling early enough, so like the following turn, if he trades into the Acolyte here, he could just consecrate and be able to clear the whole board and blow shades.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'd be down to, what, 18 health that turn? So he'd be... I wouldn't reveal the shade here, because he'd play like right into consecrate.
Yeah, or True Silver. There's a bunch of ways at this point with that board
Yeah.
that the Paladin can pretty easily deal with it.
Yeah.
And he does. He winds up playing right into probably a pretty clear True Silver here.
I would actually consecrate.
Yeah, you're right then. Yeah, because you do have the... That's perfect. That clears them both, of course.
Yeah.
Silly me.
Yeah. And you still keep a shielded mini-bot on the board, so you basically just... He's at 18 health now. You've only used
Where shall I strike?
virtually 2 cards since you drew one for the Acolyte of Pain up against his 2 cards. So now you have a real...
Now the True Silver.
Yeah. I'd actually be inclined to Paladin Shredder here, but I guess you want the weapon rolling. It plays into Harrison, but I guess he's not too worried about that.
All right, so now we do already see in Kolento's hand, though, Thaurissan and Dr. Boom.
Yeah. You could even Thaurissan, and then the next turn Dr. Boom and Zombie Chow.
And Zombie Chow.
Whoa!
Imagine that.
The plays! That's a power play if I've ever seen one. Mustard.
All right. Now, he does have the swipe for Mustard, but I think at this point, SilentStorm probably waits until turn 8 at least to do the 1-turn combo.
Yeah, Paladins just don't have a clean way to deal with Emperor Thaurissan. Those 5 health is really tough because you Aldor it.
Mm-hmm.
It's still going to reduce the cost of his cards. And now all of a sudden you have to deal with a Dr. Boom. So just like that, because he didn't have a big enough play that turn, he's fallen a little bit far behind.
Wow. 2 mana swipe. 2 mana piloted Shredder.
Oh, man.
That's some scary stuff.
And he even has Ancient of Lore in his hand to refill.
Yep. So he can just about clear this board. You can run your minions into Dr. Boom, Consecration, then you got the weapon left over.
I wonder.
Could take 8 damage to the face from those boom bots if you do it that way.
Yep. Yeah, but I think he has to.
Yeah.
There's no other play. Next turn he can Mustard for Battle and Quartermaster. I would be surprised if he used Mustard for Battle this turn, but he actually did, I think. It's hard to say. We have to wait till the Spectator mode catches up.
How did you feel about that play, taking the damage to the face on Dr. Boom with the weapon instead?
He wanted to try and preserve a creature, but it didn't work out.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you sort of have to take risks like that when you're playing Paladin, because it's the only way you're going to win. You have to keep the Druid on the back foot the whole game. But that's a huge
with this
power
mana
swing.
curve, though, that's going to be hard to keep him on the back foot. Getting 2 charges from Thaurissan.
Yeah, he can Muster for Battle Quartermaster here and heal up from the Zombie Chow. But that's still a big board that he's staring at.
Even if he does that, though, he's dead to Savage Roar. It doesn't even have to be combo.
Yeah. No, I think he's still... Because he'll heal up from the Zombie Chow. So he'll be at 18 health. So just Savage Roar would be 16 damage with hero power.
You're right, yeah. Still just a little short.
I mean, Savage Roar plus swipe.
Actually, Savage Roar plus swipe, would have finished it still.
Yeah. But he can Ancient of Lore here, and Wrath, and clear all the Silverhand recruits off the board. Still be in a really good position. The Paladin being at 18 health, with still good-sized creatures on the board. He's sitting pretty right now.
All right, double swipe in hand. I feel like I just go face here. Yeah, absolutely. You got double swipe. He's down to 9 health.
Yeah, he'll be punished by second quartermaster, but he won't even be punished next turn because he could use both swipes plus
Both
hero
swipes
power
and
kill
hero
him.
power wins, yeah.
Yeah. So calculated, aggressive maneuvers. Oh!
That's one of my absolute favorites. If they don't have the answer to that, a 6 damage sound.
Yeah, or double Savage Roar. How's 14 damage sound
Oh!
from one card? Yep. And anti-Keelbot.
Anti-Keelbot.
Not going to
Nope,
save him.
not going to save him. Double swipe already in hand. Kolento going up 2-0.
Yeah.
SilentStorm just can't seem to find a win with this Paladin today versus Kolento.
No, he can. And he had a pretty decent start. He just didn't have, like, follow-up plays after he cleared the board.
Uh-huh.
And Kolento, I mean, having both Ancient Allures that early on to refill your hand, the Thorsan staying alive for an extra turn.
Yeah, the double turn Thorsan probably was the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
That play he was able to pull off. The mana curves just get insane when
Yeah.
Thorsan survives longer than one turn.
Yeah, and Paladin just that I think that card has improved the matchup against Paladin quite a bit because Paladin was a class that could pressure a lot, and it forced Druids into situations where a lot of times they couldn't play to their mana curve efficiently, and Paladins have trouble dealing with 5 mana or 5 health creatures. In the past, Paladins would just Aldor Peacekeeper the Ancient of Lore and ignore it, but you can't really Aldor pieces from muster for battle. But they can make huge tempo plays early on. Like, you can get rid of your Divine Shield from your Shielded Mini-Bot, use Coghammer, refresh it, and then you can lock players out of the game. I like it against Mech Mage, which is normally a pretty even matchup for Paladin. I think it pushes you a little bit over.
All right, sort of standard early game stuff from the Warrior. Hero power pass. And now this muster for battle, Warrior doesn't really have an immediate answer in hand yet.
No, he's got to go like 2 turns with the Death Bite. But I mean,
I guess you can put down the Acolyte or just, 2 turns with Death's Bite.
yeah, because right now you know that there's not going to be a Quartermaster.
Right.
So you're going to get a guaranteed kill on all these Silverhand recruits and a guaranteed kill almost on whatever comes on turn 4.
Right.
So this turn, you know that your Paladin Shredder is just going to die, but you sort of need to put on pressure. So you can't really afford to just hero power here, even though you feel like you're just throwing that Paladin Shredder out to just be killed. You can't afford to let up.
Well, and there is something to be said, too, that the Death's Bite Death Rattle will take effect before the Piloted Shredder, so whatever comes out will be perfectly healthy.
Yeah. But I do see a lot of players in that situation when they know the second Death Bite's charge. They're like, well, I don't really want anything killed, so I'm just going to
Hero power pass.
Yeah. Oh, yikes.
That's not a great pickup out of that Shredder.
One of the worst.
Yeah.
One of the worst. He's at 19 health.
Yeah, he has actually still done a pretty good job of putting that pressure on the health pool of the Warrior.
And
But he's got 2 Shield Maidens in hand already.
Yeah. He's curving out, though, pretty nicely. Actually, both players are.
Yeah.
Shield Maiden, Dr. Boom, Ragnaros. He actually has Brawl as well, which is pretty big because that's one of the only cards that Warriors can use to deal with a Quartermaster, a big Quartermaster.
Right. All right, Thorsan gonna hit the board for SilentStorm.
Ooh, he's hiding it behind too. So
Yeah.
This is most likely will get 2 turns. Unless he...
Well, yeah, because he's 1 mana off of being able to Shield Madden, Shield Slam.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a BGH in hand, so he can't Taskmaster BGH either.
Yep. Thorsan's going to get crazy value. You can even Tyrion next turn if you wanted to for a big play. Tyrion can be tough for Warriors to deal with because they have to have a way to proc the Divine Shield and then proc and execute or have the armor to be able to Shield Slam it down.
Right.
And that weapon can do a lot of damage. He doesn't have Harrison Jones in his hand. Some Warriors have been cutting Harrison Jones because they already have a strong matchup against Rogue and they're not really too worried about the mirror matchup that much. And for a while at the end of last season, Paladins were sort of falling out of favor because of the popularity of Royal Rogue. I can't remember if he ran Harrison yesterday, but I mean, you're sort of forcing him to have it. And he not only has to remove it, but he has to have the Harrison as well if you're going to want to get punished for that play. So.
All right, so he's thinking about how to most effectively put the most pressure on And yeah,
Tyrion,
Tyrion's got to be the answer.
And
another charge from
This is-
Thorson, and he's still hidden behind a taunt.
this is so hard because he can't shield Maiden's shield slam because he'll only have 5 armor. So we'll have to trade both of his creatures plus the shield slam into the Tyrion to be able to do anything. So Sylvanas, he might have to Sylvanas
Yeah.
here. And then that's a lot of damage staring him out on the board. That's 12 damage.
Yeah. And then we can also see that there's a true silver in hand. There's 2 free knife jugglers.
Whoa.
He could wind up getting the kill
Yeah.
just with the jugglers. Zip, 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 zip.
Juggle, Pilot Shredder, True Silver Champion, Hero Power. That fills up 7 mana just with that alone.
Yep.
He can even, there's probably a guaranteed lethal with the quality. If he qualities and then uses the knife jugglers to juggle
Sure.
twice. Dr. Boom will put more creatures on the board.
Yes,
so I
it
don't know
will.
if that's possible.
It will lower the chances.
Yeah. So he'll need 7 damage, so he would need 3 damage. So no, it's not possible. That's the best way to deal with it too. Block the Divine Shield.
All right. Can he come up with lethal? He's got 11 on the board. He needs to come up with 7 more. Amazing knife jugglers seems to be the only way that he can with his current hand.
He could have 1 juggle, 3 juggles, 5 juggles total this turn, plus True Silver. Man, he would have to be...
Those would have to be some on-point knife juggles.
Those would have to be the American Sniper knife jugglers. I don't think he'll go for it.
No, I think just go to the face with what you got on the board. Probably BGH Dr. Boom here.
Yep.
Is he going to get fancy with the jugglers?
Actually, with this, it's actually a high chance, I think, that he wins. Because out of 5 possible targets, he has 5 juggles. He only needs
Oh, and it puts on the weapon. Now he needs
2
two juggles to the face.
to the face.
And he's got Piloted Shredder and Hero Power to get
That's 4 juggles total. Actually, 5 juggles total, but he
Oh.
has mana to use both. He only needs
it. Here
one
we
more
go.
juggle.
One more. One in it.
Oh!
Oh! Come on!
Oh, no.
There
Oh,
it
he
is.
got it.
All right, SilentStorm with the fancy free knife juggler play. Love it. Winds up staying alive in the series.
Actually, but Demon Locks can do some crazy things early on that can just... It's one of those decks that has opportunities to have those auto-win mechanics.
Okay.
Where if they do get something really powerful from their Void Caller and you have no way to deal with it, it can snowball the game. Or you'll end up using your cards inefficiently to remove it, and then the Demon Lock's just in a good spot. So
All right, so going to be some hero power passing going on here. I think we'll see the Mistress of Pain, though, instead of a tap here.
yeah, especially since he knows that turn 3 is coming up, so he has the Abusive Sergeant to be able to effectively trade into an Acolyte of Pain,
Right.
if that was what came out. It's 1 turn away from a Death Spite as well. Defender of Argus would be pretty sweet if he drawn into it. Not going to Shield Slam. He thought about it for a second,
Yeah.
but
There's going to be
Usually-
some better shield slams later in the game, I'm sure.
yeah. Oh, there's the Bane of Doom.
There
The
it
ultimate
is.
counter to Cruel Taskmasters.
Bane of Doom, also known as Bane of Casters, counting
Yeah.
lethal.
Exactly. I really love Bane of Doom. Like,
I love that that came right after one of those slightly awkward pauses.
Yeah.
Just this deep admission from you. Like, I really love this.
well, they just changed it recently to make it so that Bane of Doom can summon a demon from the full demon pool, where it used to have a limited pool of demons that it can summon from.
Right.
There's actually a lot of really good demons.
Yeah.
Yesterday we saw an Illidan. There's Mal'Ganis,
Yes.
Jaraxxus, Doomguard's great,
Mm-hmm.
Dread Infernal's great.
Oh boy. Wow, and he gets a Void Caller. out
Void
of
Caller's
it.
great.
Yeah.
Because Void Caller is just a never-ending.
He's-
Just Void Caller summons another Void Caller. Then he Bane of Doom something else, another Void Caller.
This Void Caller is gonna summon either Mal'Ganis or a Doomguard.
Both.
Both I'm perfectly happy with.
Yeah. Content.
And he gets the 4/4. All right, which is it going to be?
I actually like that better. Doom Guard is harder to play because
Yeah.
you're discarding cards.
Absolutely.
But this is a good way to deal with it. He's going to BG8. He's going to Cruel Taskmaster BG8. That's a lot of not wasted cards, but a lot of cards used for it. But that just paves the way for Mal'Ganis later on because he knows that BGH is gone.
Right. All right, Implosion.
Two-
Cannot break the streak of 2.
SilentStorm
Imps.
yesterday used, I believe, 5 Implosions, and all of them were World 2. So that's 6 Implosions so far this tournament that SilentStorm has rolled 2 damage on.
Never lucky.
Never lucky.
All right, so Kolento's definitely getting a pretty nice little board presence here, though.
Yeah. Where's that second Band of Doom when you need it?
Right? Oh boy, here's the next, his actual Void Caller from his deck, as opposed to from the random ether.
Oh no.
Ooh.
That makes it so he can't play Void Caller. Because whatever it summons gets killed by Patient
Instantly,
Assassin.
yeah.
Patient Assassin is one of the best cards that you can get from Piloted Shredder.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a couple classes that can punish it, though. I mean, Warrior being one of them.
Yeah.
Really any AoE, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of depends on the board state that you get it in, I guess.
Yeah, and he's going to throw his Void Caller because he'll have to kill it first. But, I mean, if he's able to kill the Void Caller, which he is, then kill whatever comes out of it with Patient Assassin, that's pretty much the game for SilentStorm. You can see he's visibly frustrated by that. And, I mean, that's some... yeah, it's just really, really unfortunate, I guess, is how to put it.
Yeah.
2-1 is Implosion, followed by the Patient Assassin. I guess that's what you get for... just being a Doomin.
That's right. That is the karma comeback from that one. So what's the cleanest way to get this Void Caller and Mal'Ganis dealt with?
To be honest, I would Shield Slam the Void Caller because worst case scenario, it summons nothing, and that's usually the best case scenario.
Yeah.
In this situation, it's worse because he wants to be able to kill whatever comes out of that with the Patient Assassin. He's got to make the read though. I don't think it's going to happen. But he can still do it. He's just going to draw first.
Yep, he's going for the Shield Slam.
Oh, SilentStorm is just going to be...
Wow.
Yeah, Mal'Ganis
Look at him shaking his head.
killed by the Patient Assassin.
Wow. That might be one of the most valuable Piloted Shredders I've ever seen.
Wow. Indeed. Indeed. Really rough.
Would make Trump proud.
It would.
Yikes. So now, how does SilentStorm get back into this game?
Well,
now that just went down.
He can cash in on this Nerubian egg here with this Abusive Sergeant. And, I mean, Jiraxis later in the game, those Dread Infernals, if he can get that out on a safe turn. Dread Infernals, those, or just regular Infernals, I guess. I don't even know if they're Dread Infernals. I think Jiraxis just summons just the good
Infernals.
old, just regular
Yeah.
vanilla Infernals.
They're a little less angry than their Dread Infernal counterparts.
Yeah.
They've got a pretty good life out there.
They're like
now.
10-year-old Infernals. They're still happy. They're not angsty yet.
Yes, they haven't been disenfranchised by the harsh realities of life as a demon.
Yeah, so that 1 damage.
1 damage to everything.
To everything.
Yeah.
Just so mad.
Just so angry.
Despite Warriors are only a little bit mad. Just 1 damage to creatures.
To creatures, right, yeah.
But Dread Infernals are just pissed.
All right, so he's starting to now finally picks up a real threat.
Yeah. He's got a lot of he has a lot of answers, but
right. That was the one thing I think that SilentStorm had going for him, was that most of Kolento's cards were these sort of reactionary control cards.
Yeah.
He didn't actually have any of his pressure cards quite yet.
Yeah.
But picking up Dr. Boom here, pretty good.
Yes. All right, so Shadow Flame actually does benefit from spell power. So you can spell power and then Shadow Flame a 3 attack target
bot,
for 4 damage. But I don't know how good that is. I mean, I guess you're really not going to get much else out of it.
No, it doesn't seem like you are. You definitely want to save Big Game Hunter against a Warrior too, because that would be the only other card he has that would Shadow Flame to clear here.
Yeah. Get a Mortal Coil first.
Yeah.
Try and cash in on that. Oh, 2 Voidwalkers. That's really interesting.
Wow, just look at all the armor he just gave to Kolento, though. Now he's got to get through 48 health, in addition to all of the huge threats that Control Warrior plays.
Yep. BGH is great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many targets BGH targets Kolento is actually running, but
I mean, even
probably
after
quite a few.
BGH here, though, he's got a Shield Maiden coming up next, which can be sort of undervalued as a threat itself. Most people, myself included, I see like, oh yeah, that 5 mana, but a 5/5 body is going to be pretty scary at this point for Silence.
He got a 3!
Hey, and then look, one of
One
them
gets
died,
killed
so
instantly.
it's effectively the same.
And it was on a boom bot, so it was a 1 health.
Yeah.
He can't catch a break. But I mean,
Yeah, now he's going to have to power overwhelming one of these imps to get through the shield.
that's not too bad.
No,
though.
that feels good.
Yeah. He's going through his cards like crazy though. That's the one thing about this Demon Lock is that, especially against Warrior, he's got a lot of he's got a lot of health to get through, like you mentioned earlier.
Right.
And he's going to run out of cards. That Draxus is going to have to go a long way.
Yeah.
And there's a Harrison Jones.
Yeah, why not? Thorsan has another 5/5 body sound.
Yeah. Make a free execute. It's a silence.
Okay, picking up Dr. Boom here.
That's a really great pickup.
That's amazing. He can power overwhelming and Dr. Boom.
Yeah, fantastic. Only thing he needs now is a demon to summon from that Void Caller. But at the same time, he kind of doesn't want one because the only demon I think he has left in his deck is... Oh, he has a second Mistress of Pain, perhaps.
Yeah.
But he also has a...
It's going to be Jiraxis.
which he's going to want to actually be able to close out the game.
Right. And now he's Sarah. One of those cards that... ooh.
He can Bane a Doom it.
He can.
Whoa.
All right, so where do you place the defender here? If you're going to defend her.
Probably the Void Caller just so it lives. But unless... No, he's not even going to trade into it. I mean, he could have done this exact same thing, except not Defender of Argus, and it would have accomplished the same thing as long as he did 1 damage with one of the boom bots. I probably would have traded the boom bots first, and then decided on Defender of Argus target. Now he doesn't get to utilize Bane of Doom. I guess it's not too big of a deal, but...
Yeah. Well, he's got a big board. And Kolento's hand, other than that execute, well, the Emerald Drake is going to trade pretty effectively here.
Yep. And I guess maybe he wanted to play around Brawl. He didn't want to have to get a huge, like a big demon from Bane of Doom and then have it killed by Brawl.
Okay.
So that might have been what he was trying to play around there, because he hasn't seen it yet.
All right, there's Jiraxis, and look at Kolento. One card in hand. It's Harrison Jones.
Yeah. How many cards does he have left?
That's a good question. I mean, at that point, though, you've only got to chew through 15 health, and you've removed the weapon.
Yeah, I think you save Jiraxis until you absolutely have to use it. Because right now, you can most likely assume that he runs Harrison Jones. And, like, what's the one way that you can just absolutely lose the game right now?
So there's only 2 cards left in SilentStorm's deck. 2 cards to chew through that much health. That's 40 health. Then again, the value of Jiraxis. 2 mana for 6/6.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is... I mean, SilentStorm has some threats. He's got Jiraxis. Bane of Doom can summon some crazy things.
That's true.
Mal'Ganis from Bane of Doom is a real possibility. It's like a 1 in... Well... I don't know. I have to look out.
Oh. All right.
Oh no.
And the brawl. Wow.
Yikes.
All right. Well, that should just about wrap this one up.
Yeah. He can attack in, Mortal Coil,
Yeah.
and Bane of Doom.
Well, now he can't Mortal Coil because that's just going to damage him.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you do it with when you don't kill anything.
Yeah. He's got to get.
All right. What's it going to be?
I don't even know.
Comeback of the century from Bane of Doom?
Mal'Ganis, maybe. Succubus.
Yeah. No, that won't do it.
It just dies to Fire
That just dies to War Axe, and that's going to be the game. Kolento going to take it 3-1 and advance to the semifinals.
Yeah, that's rough for SilentStorm. I mean, he had some tough breaks in that one, but Kolento put himself in a really great position, winning those first 2 matches. Super impressive, and he had 3 matches to win Warrior.
Right.
And when you put yourself into that situation, you just need your opponent to have tough breaks one time.
Right.
To play well one time out of 3.